Welcome to Crafted Nest, where nature and creativity meet in the most peaceful way. Today, we'll explore 15 beautiful ideas to keep your garden blooming all year long, even if you don't have much time or space. Each design is simple, real, and made to bring color into your everyday life, from vertical flower walls to tiny balcony jungles that never stop blossoming. So before we begin, make sure to subscribe and join our growing community of dreamers and makers. Let's turn small spaces into timeless gardens, one flower at a time. 1. Year-round bloom vertical wall garden. A bright tropical daylight photo of a vertical wall garden filled with flowering plants in full bloom. The wall is made of reclaimed wooden panels and metal grids supporting various small pots, kalanchoe, begonia, and impatiens, cascading naturally in layers. The background shows an Indonesian-style courtyard with textured walls, green reflections, and soft morning light. Everything looks realistic and natural, as if captured by the human eye without filters. A vertical garden made from recycled bamboo frames, mounted against a sunny wall. Each bamboo tube holds colorful flowers like vinca and terrariums, with delicate vines trailing down. A woman gently sprays water using a small hand sprayer, while sunlight passes through leaves, creating a calm, natural atmosphere typical of an Indonesian morning. An elegant modern backyard in daylight featuring a large vertical wall garden made from concrete blocks with embedded planters. The wall bursts with vibrant Petunia surfinia and lantana flowers of pink, orange, and violet hues. The sunlight enhances their vivid colors, while a light breeze moves the petals softly. No cinematic tone, pure real-world clarity and brightness. 2. Minimalist hanging window bloom setup. A bright daylight scene of a minimalist Indonesian home interior featuring a large window with 3 hanging planters. Each pot holds colorful blooming flowers, begonia, terrariums, and vinca, arranged in simple white ceramic containers suspended by jute ropes. Sunlight filters through thin white curtains, illuminating the petals with a soft, natural glow. The atmosphere feels calm, fresh, and real, as if captured by a human eye. A cozy small apartment window filled with hanging flower pots. The planters are crafted from recycled coconut shells and woven macrame, holding blooming impatiens in shades of pink and lilac. Outside, green foliage frames the view, and a gentle breeze lifts the curtains. The light is warm and natural, typical of a tropical Indonesian morning. A bright indoor dining area with large windows and hanging flower baskets of kalanchoe and petunia. The sunlight highlights the vibrant reds and yellows of the blossoms. The setting feels serene and realistic, a simple home filled with natural light, without any cinematic filter, just the crisp beauty of morning daylight. 3. DIY wooden modular flower shelf design. A bright Indonesian veranda filled with modular wooden flower shelves made from recycled teak planks. Each tier holds blooming kalanchoe, begonia, and lantana arranged in small clay pots. The wood shows natural grain and light wear, giving a rustic charm. Sunlight filters through banana leaves nearby, casting real shadows on the floor. Everything looks natural, crisp, and realistic without filters. An indoor corner garden with neatly stacked wooden shelves forming a modular system of staggered heights. Every shelf carries colorful flower pots, petunia, terrariums, and vinca, blooming vibrantly under warm natural daylight. The shelves are handmade with smooth pine wood, and the background shows a white wall with sunlight reflections, giving a peaceful tropical home vibe. A backyard patio scene in daylight featuring a DIY modular flower shelf built from reclaimed wooden crates. The shelf displays various flowering plants in terracotta pots, from pink begonias to orange lantanas. The sunlight hits the natural wood tones and bright petals, producing a clean, authentic look like a real photograph taken at noon. 4. Mini blooming glass terrarium decor. A close-up photo of a round glass terrarium sitting on a wooden coffee table bathed in soft daylight. Inside the glass bowl are small flowering plants, miniature begonias, moss, and terrariums, arranged in layers of soil, sand, and tiny pebbles. Morning sunlight glows through the glass, revealing dewdrops and vivid natural colors. The scene feels calm, bright, and realistic, as if seen through the human eye. A bright living room corner with several glass terrariums of different shapes, spheres, cubes, and hanging orbs, each containing colorful blooming succulents and moss. A person's hand is seen misting one terrarium with a small spray bottle. The reflection of sunlight on the glass creates a natural sparkle, giving the space a serene, real-life warmth. A wooden shelf beside a window displays 3 glass terrariums, each glowing under natural daylight. Inside are small layers of soil and decorative white stones, holding flowers like miniature kalanchoe and impatiens. The background shows a soft green garden blur outside the window, creating a peaceful, real-world aesthetic without filters or edits. 5. Tropical bloom lighting garden design. A bright evening photo of a tropical Indonesian backyard filled with flowering plants, lantana, vinca, and petunia, surrounded by small warm white garden lights placed between the plants. The light softly illuminates the petals, while palm leaves cast natural shadows on a wooden deck. Everything looks real and naturally lit, with a calm, summery atmosphere. A cozy tropical patio at twilight featuring small potted flowers glowing under solar-powered garden lamps. The scene includes wooden benches, ferns, and colorful blooms of begonia and terrarium. The lighting is gentle and warm, blending naturally with the remaining daylight. The mood feels peaceful, vibrant, and true to life. A lush garden corner in daylight transitioning to golden hour, showing flowering plants under string lights hung between bamboo poles. The flowers glow in subtle contrast: orange lantana, pink vinca, white begonia, while the sunlight creates soft flares on the lens. No cinematic filter, just bright, natural realism that evokes a tropical evening breeze. 6. Cozy reading nook with everbloom flowers. A bright and peaceful Indonesian reading nook by the window, surrounded by small potted flowering plants, begonia, vinca, and terrarium. The natural sunlight spills through light curtains, casting soft shadows on a wooden floor. A cozy armchair, a small side table with an open book, and a cup of tea complete the warm atmosphere. Everything looks naturally lit and calm, as if captured with the naked eye. A cozy corner near a glass window filled with blooming flowers in small clay pots arranged on floating wooden shelves. A beige armchair sits beside it with a woven blanket, books stacked underneath. Morning daylight brightens the room, highlighting the soft pink and purple hues of the flowers. No cinematic tone, pure, natural daylight clarity. An indoor garden reading spot featuring a rattan chair surrounded by lush potted flowers and green vines. Sunlight filters through bamboo blinds, illuminating colorful blooms of lantana and kalanchoe. The mood is serene and realistic, a perfect daytime escape for quiet reading and reflection. 7. Color pathway pot arrangement idea. A bright daylight photo of an Indonesian garden pathway lined with colorful flower pots arranged in a gradient, from white vinca to pink begonia, orange lantana, and deep purple petunia. The path is made of stepping stones surrounded by grass, and the sunlight shines naturally across the colors, creating a cheerful, realistic atmosphere with vivid tones and crisp daylight shadows. A small tropical home entrance featuring a pathway bordered by terracotta pots filled with blooming flowers of different hues. The colors alternate harmoniously, and the light of midday enhances their vibrancy. No cinematic filter, just clear, natural light reflecting off the petals and textured pots. A backyard walkway made of gravel and flat stones, with flower pots arranged in alternating patterns. The flowers, impatiens, terrarium, and kalanchoe, bloom in bright daylight, creating a natural rainbow effect along the path. The image feels vivid and genuine, like a real-life summer morning in an Indonesian home garden. 8. Compact balcony flower jungle design. A bright tropical daylight photo of a small Indonesian balcony overflowing with flowering plants, vinca, lantana, and terrariums, arranged in layered pots, hanging baskets, and rail planters. The space feels dense but cozy, with vines climbing the railing and sunlight casting natural patterns on the tiled floor. Everything looks lively and real, captured as seen by the human eye. A compact apartment balcony filled with color. Wooden shelves hold blooming begonias and petunias, while hanging planters sway lightly in the breeze. The morning sunlight reflects on the glass doors, creating a natural sparkle across the flowers. The view beyond shows a clear sky, evoking a bright, authentic tropical atmosphere. A narrow balcony garden with vertical racks and pots stacked creatively. A mix of pink, orange, and white blossoms fills the frame, while bamboo blinds above filter warm daylight. A small wooden chair sits in the corner, surrounded by lush greenery and real shadows that shift naturally in the sunlight. 9. Simple tropical front yard bloom garden. A bright daylight photo of a small tropical Indonesian front yard filled with flowering plants, lantana, vinca, and begonia, arranged naturally around a stepping stone path. A few palm fronds cast gentle shadows on the grass, and a simple bamboo fence lines the background. The lighting is clear and sunny, perfectly natural with crisp details and no cinematic filters. A cozy tropical home entrance garden featuring colorful flower beds and a few clay pots of petunia and terrariums. The house facade has textured white walls and a wooden door, framed by greenery and warm natural light. The sunlight glows gently across the petals, creating an authentic, bright Indonesian morning atmosphere. A wide-angle daylight photo of a simple front yard garden in a rural Indonesian home. Flowers of various colors bloom along the walkway and beneath a small tree. The sunlight highlights each hue vividly, while a rustic water jar and some stone decorations complete the scene. Everything looks realistic, cheerful, and full of life. 10. Tabletop mini bloom garden setup. A bright daylight photo of a wooden table near a window, holding several small pots filled with blooming flowers, begonia, kalanchoe, and terrariums. A gentle beam of sunlight touches the petals, while shadows fall softly across the tabletop. The background shows an Indonesian living room corner, naturally bright and cozy, with no filters or cinematic tone. A rustic tabletop garden scene featuring clay and ceramic pots arranged neatly on a bamboo table. Each pot overflows with colorful blooms of petunia and impatiens. A watering can, small scissors, and scattered soil add a real, lived-in charm. The sunlight glows through a nearby curtain, casting natural reflections on the flowers. A bright kitchen counter-turned into a mini indoor garden. Small glass jars and wooden boxes hold blooming flowers and green moss. Morning light streams through the window, highlighting each color vividly. The setup feels authentic, cheerful, and truly handmade. No artificial touch, just daylight and life. 11. Self-watering smart planter system. A bright daylight photo of a modern self-watering planter setup placed on a balcony. Several clean white pots with water reservoirs at the base hold blooming vinca, petunia, and begonia. Transparent water indicators show the water level. Sunlight hits the glossy leaves naturally, while a gentle reflection glows off the ceramic surfaces, realistic, crisp, and fresh. An indoor tabletop with a row of small self-watering planters made from upcycled plastic bottles, showing clear layers of soil, roots, and water below. Each container holds flowering plants like terrariums and kalanchoe. The morning light passes through the transparent sides, revealing the real moisture within the roots. Everything looks natural and bright. A cozy Indonesian backyard featuring a DIY self-watering garden system made of bamboo pipes and simple valves. The pots, filled with blooming lantana and vinca, are connected to a small water tank through thin hoses. Sunlight shines naturally on the setup, with real droplets glistening on the petals. The image feels authentic, practical and peaceful. 12. Natural rock and flower harmony design. A bright daylight photo of a tropical garden featuring flowering plants like lantana, begonia, and vinca arranged among natural river stones. The stones vary in size and color, gray, beige, and brown, forming organic curves along the soil. Sunlight reflects warmly on both the petals and the smooth stone surfaces, giving a real, balanced, and peaceful look. A small Indonesian front yard garden showing colorful flowers growing between scattered volcanic rocks. The flowers, terrariums and impatiens, peek between crevices, surrounded by green moss. The bright morning light creates natural shadows that highlight the contrast between stone texture and delicate petals. No filters, only real tropical daylight. A minimalist backyard corner with a stone bed layered with smooth pebbles and blooming kalanchoe and petunia. The scene glows in warm daylight, with a bamboo fence in the background and a few leaves fallen naturally on the stones. Everything looks authentic, crisp, and serene, like a peaceful piece of real life. 13. Living flower wall art design. A bright daylight photo of a living wall art installation in a modern Indonesian home. The wall is covered with small framed planters arranged like picture frames, each filled with blooming flowers, petunia, begonia, and terrarium. Sunlight hits the textured wall, creating soft natural shadows and vibrant color contrasts. Everything appears fresh, clean, and truly real. A tropical outdoor wall featuring wooden square panels planted with vinca and lantana in geometric patterns. The colors, pink, orange, and white, form a natural mosaic under bright morning sunlight. The wall behind is a rustic plaster texture, and a bamboo chair sits nearby. The overall feeling is bright, natural, and handcrafted. An indoor corridor with a vertical art wall made of recycled wooden boxes holding flowering plants. The blooms spill gently over the edges, small blossoms of kalanchoe and impatiens. The natural daylight streams through a skylight, illuminating each flower and casting real shadows on the wall. No filter, no cinematic tone, just pure, authentic daylight and beauty. 14. Outdoor bloom relaxation corner design. A bright daylight photo of a tropical Indonesian backyard corner turned into a cozy relaxation space. A rattan chair with soft cushions sits under a bamboo pergola draped in blooming vines, lantana, vinca, and petunia. Around the chair, potted flowers in various colors create a peaceful cocoon of nature. The sunlight glows warmly, reflecting real shadows and natural tones. A lush garden corner with a wooden bench surrounded by vibrant flowers, begonia, terrarium, and kalanchoe, arranged around stepping stones. A small table holds a cup of tea and an open book. The air feels fresh and alive, with natural daylight shining through leaves and petals in a serene tropical morning scene. A minimalist outdoor corner patio featuring stone flooring, a low bamboo fence, and clusters of flowering plants arranged in terracotta pots. The natural sunlight brightens the colors, pink, yellow, white, and orange, creating a realistic, cheerful, and relaxing atmosphere that looks like a calm afternoon captured by the eye. 15. Decorative hydroponic flower display. A bright Indonesian indoor setup showing a decorative hydroponic flower display on a wooden shelf. Transparent glass tubes filled with water hold blooming stems of begonia, terrarium, and kalanchoe. The roots are clearly visible inside the glass, glowing in the soft daylight streaming from a nearby window. Everything looks natural, clean, and realistic, as if captured by a real camera lens in daylight. A minimalist hydroponic system made from recycled bottles and bamboo frames arranged on a kitchen counter. Inside, colorful flowers, vinca and petunia, grow in nutrient water, their stems anchored in small clay beads. The sunlight hits the glass surfaces, creating real reflections and gentle shadows. The tone is bright, fresh, and naturally vibrant. A tropical-style living room corner featuring a hydroponic flower rack with LED daylight lamps disguised as decor lights. The flowers bloom in pink, orange, and white hues, with visible water tubes running discreetly behind the setup. The lighting feels natural and bright, blending perfectly with real sunlight from the window. No cinematic tone, just pure daylight beauty.